Yeah, I made that mistake. I lost the last one I recorded to the computer. Even though I recorded it to the My Documents, for some reason it didn't record to the My Documents, even though I told it to. And therefore I lost it once it rebooted.
Once you rebooted it.
Yep. Okay. So this should be
Where it
recording.
probably went to was not in the CT user My Documents, it probably went to the public.
I didn't think of that, and it could still be there. Thank you.
Well, no, it probably won't be there, because if it rebooted, if that gets wiped out.
It does? I thought the whole...
That's not in the thoughts.
Oh. I'll have to take a look at it later.
But, I mean, check it, yeah, I may be wrong.
Okay. So I think we got everybody. So it's just about that time. So my name is Lee Kenyon. I'm the help desk coordinator for Great Bay Community College. What we're going to be going over today is Canvas basics, and that's going to be from 3 to 4. Everybody should have an account. I've talked to the people who don't, and I apologize. So pretty much we're going to go over just the basics of how to set up a course, what Canvas looks like, and everything like that. Come on in. All right. So when you first log into Canvas, you're going to go to the dashboard. The dashboard is pretty much the area that is going to have your courses listed on them with the thumbnail icon. You can adjust what you have viewed on the dashboard. This is not a list of all your courses. They won't all fit here. To view all your courses, you go to the courses menu, and then you're going to scroll down, and you're going to see all courses, and that'll give you a full list of all the courses you have available to you. On this list of all courses, you'll see these little stars. If they're checked off in orange, that means you want them to show up on your dashboard, and this is how you control what shows up in the dashboard, by which one you check orange. All the rest will just be listed underneath all courses. So then we go back to the dashboard, and then now we're set up with those specific courses that we've selected.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Are we supposed to be logged into Canvas now? Because I don't know if I've even been able to log in.
Yeah, it's not letting me log in.
You are in.
You should be able to log in.
Yeah, you are looking at Canvas right now.
Not
All
letting me either.
right, so, yeah.
You're going to log in with your easy login username and password. Should be just like your email, except not your full email address, just the beginning part.
I'm not getting it because I was in SIS last week because I submitted grades for it's not letting me.
Oh, you don't put the @cc. It's just.
Yep, it's just the easy login
It's not the full
username, just the beginning part.
Oh, there you go. That's why.
Yeah, Canvas just uses the beginning part of your easy login. So first letter of your first name, full last name.
Because there was a login before, so click on the.
If you're on
Let me see if I can
I can't get in.
If it's saying bad login, you got to clear the cache.
So it's just the audio.
Another important area, or actually I should wait. Yep, the preferred web browser is Firefox. That's the one Canvas tells you to use the most. Chrome does work. There's a little bit of, not too many quirks with it. Internet Explorer 11 works well. I have not really used Edge, so I'm not sure how well Edge works. I know if you have a Mac, Safari will not work with Canvas. There's a lot of known issues with Safari and Canvas. So if you're on a Mac computer, install Firefox or Chrome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Is anyone else having trouble logging in? Good? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You gotta put, yeah, don't use that.
So when you go to the account area, you're going to want to go to notifications. This is an important area because this is where you can adjust what you're going to get notified directly to your college email account from inside Canvas. Also, this is a good area to show to your students because this is exactly how a student gets notified. Canvas, there is nothing that directly automatically notifies you when you can't change. Everything you can turn off if you want. That's the same way for students as well. So be aware of that. If a student says, I never got notifications, make sure their actual notifications are turned on. By default, all college email accounts are associated with your Canvas account and are the ones that get emailed whenever you get notifications. The most important one here is the announcements created by you. By default, this is actually turned off. This means when you send an announcement out that'll go out to all the students' email accounts, you won't receive it. If you turn this on, you'll also receive the announcement so you know it went out to the students. So that's why this is a very important area to at least go in and turn on.
So the green checks are turning things on.
Correct.
Okay.
You can also switch it on to either send a daily summary or a weekly summary if it's something that you don't necessarily want to get notified exactly every single day, or every single second, I should say. The push notifications, this is if you have the app plugged into, activated for your account. Canvas has 4 apps. It's got Canvas for teachers, Canvas for students, Canvas for parents, and Canvas for polls. So the teachers Canvas app works fairly robust. You can't do everything, but you can do quite a bit in it. The app for students is completely robust in the fact that a student literally could do the entire Canvas course from their phone. They don't need to use the computer at all.
Students do everything on their phone.
Once you associate your account with your app, it then gives you the ability to turn on your push notifications to your app directly. So if you want, that's when you can adjust your push notifications. Another important area is underneath the settings area. This is where you can add an extra email address to Canvas if you wanted. So if you wanted to put your personal email address in here, you can also put that in along with your college email address. I do not show this area to students. I do not advise showing this area to students because we don't want students putting their personal emails into Canvas and going, oh, I'll just get notified on my personal one, not my college one. But I do show this to you guys in case you want to do that. If I go too fast or anything, just tell me to slow down.
Because they're supposed to use their school.
I know they're supposed to use the school.
Right. Right.
They use text. To get them into email,
Well, also,
I don't show this to students because I don't want them to even give them the idea that they could then put in their own personal email and go, well, I'll just use my personal and forward from there. Yet when you go to contact them, they then hit reply on their personal one. It'll come from their personal email account, not their college. That could get flagged by our spam filter, and then you won't get the email message. If I don't tell it to them, they won't know it exists.
Well, trust me, students will figure it out themselves.
Exactly. If they're tech savvy enough, they'll hunt.
They'll find it.
Yes.
Can I set this so that it goes to my Gmail account?
Yes.
Yes, you just type in email address, put in your Gmail account, and then you'll get all notifications to your Gmail account.
The star.
Absolutely.
If the one with the star, the one it's going to there.
That's the one that's the default one. That's the one that's automatically, you can't change that. It's built into the system. All
It'll
college.
go to both then if you put one in.
Yeah, it'll go to both. Unless you. So what you do is if you add a new one in, underneath the notifications, it'll put a whole other row for that email account.
Okay.
So you'll have another one for your, say, Google account right here, and you can adjust what notifications go to that.
Got it.
So if you want, you can turn off all your college and turn on your Google if you want. Which is another reason why I don't tell students about it. Okay, so I'm going to go into Canvas course. So you can adjust the name of the course. So you see the top bar is the name that you can adjust. The bottom one is the name that's the set designated one. To change the name, or the nickname as they call it, you're going to click on these 3 dots, these 3 vertical dots, and then you can add a nickname to it. So we're going to call this, I'll show you Canvas, Canvas Training. And say I want to switch it to orange. Hit apply, it changes the color, and it changes the name. Students will see that name change, but that's why the bottom one you cannot alter. So and say you don't want your course to be called Fall 2018-10 HIS 110. You just go, I just want this to be government history. You could just type in government history, and that's what students will see. You change the picture inside the course. So I'm going to go click and go inside the course, and this is what inside a Canvas course looks like. This is your course menu inside Canvas. You can't. All you can do is edit this in the fact that you can remove items from it so students don't see them. You can reorder it, but you can't ever change the names. The names are hard set. It's not like Blackboard where you could call it anything you want. The assignment section is always called the assignments. The announcements are always called the announcements. The first page you come into is called your home page. The home page, you can set by choosing what you choose your home page here. These are the side options that are always going to be on your home page. Give me 1 second. You should see publish, unpublished. I think I have grades attached. I do.
What section are you in?
Yeah, just to go to
The dashboard.
And that should, there we go. This is how you publish and unpublish your course. It's going to be inside the home menu. Another important area is if you go into the settings. So in order to publish your course, you would check publish here. But also you have to go into the settings and make sure there's a start date attached to it. Right here, starts on a specific date. If you don't have a start date, even though it's published, students cannot access the course. I'm telling you this because there's an active kind of issue at the moment with Canvas. So when you have the start date set and then hit publish, this course is now published, which means students can now access this course. Yes?
So when the unpublished thing is pink, does that mean it's unpublished?
That is correct. That means it's an
Even though the published, there's a check mark? Well, yeah, it's a little confusing, yeah. You need to make the publishing go green.
Yeah, the published.
Yeah. So
And anytime you're going to publish something, it always needs to go green. And you'll see the publishing aspect later on in other things that we're going to do inside Canvas. The 3 pages you can make your home page or your starting page is either the activity stream, which is what you're looking at, what I have set up. You can set it up as course modules, assignments list, syllabus, or specific pages. And I'll go over what pages are a little bit later. You can't set announcements as your home page, but you can make announcements appear on your home page. I will go into the settings and show you how to do that. But that is a possibility. So once we go to the announcement section, announcements, pretty much just like Blackboard, this is where you can send an announcement. You'll see the plus announcement up here. You're going to click on that, and that's going to give you this page right here. Now, you're going to see this very, very often in Canvas. This is basically your word editor, word processor, HTML inside Canvas, how you pretty much, you're going to see this all over the place. This is technically HTML, so if you know web programming, you could throw in the exact code. Otherwise, you can just use it like a word processor up here. So we give the title, so this is called this welcome announcement. Type in everything you want for the announcement. This side area right here allows you to link anything else from your Canvas course into this specific area. So say there was a specific file. In my announcement, I also want to throw my syllabus in. Boom. Now my syllabus is attached right to that announcement, right from the file section. Say there was an image I wanted to throw in here. So I can just click on that, and now that threw that image right into my announcement as well. Okay? You can also link to another place and they say, I want this assignment attached to my announcement. I can also, boom, that links that whole thing to my announcement. By default, it's going to go to all sections. By default, every announcement gets emailed directly to the student's email account. And it literally shows the announcement in the body of the email. I've actually done an experiment and tested it. So a student who says, oh, I saw the announcement, but I couldn't read it, that's not true. It displays right in the email. And that's another reason to set your notifications up so you receive the announcement. So if you know you got the email, you know the students did. So then you can't have students go, oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, well, yeah, you did. Then you hit save, and that pushes the announcement out right now. And that's what the announcement looks like. So I can go right to my homework assignment, and it will link me right over.
So one quick tip, just to kind of dovetail on what you just saw. It's really important that you think ahead of time about files, images, you know, before you even start building some of these pieces at this level, have those files and everything pre-uploaded so that it's just a quick, all right, I want this in my announcement, I want this in my module. You know, those files are there and ready. As you saw, you may even, you know, not even notice what we just did. But if those files are there, it's just a quick selection from there, and it, boom, goes right into that editor. Linked, you don't have to fuss with any of that. It's just automatically built for you.
Yep, that is
So that
correct.
will save you a ton of time if you think about getting your files in place first, and then the build out becomes much more efficient.
And then if you update the file, it automatically
It's
updates.
Exactly, yep.
Exactly.
And to upload your files, you're going to see this area called Files. Click on that. This is the, I like to call it the hard drive of your course. Pretty much this is where you're going to store all of your, you know, documentation, Word documents, PowerPoints, images, all that stuff gets uploaded to the Files section. You got an upload button right here. You can even upload a zip file, like a zip folder with, say, a bunch of Word documents, and it will unzip it right into the file section for you inside that folder, and then you can just access them that way. An important thing, you do need to publish these individual items. Sometimes they'll come in an unpublished state. If it's unpublished here, it doesn't matter even if it's published in the assignment section or the announcements, the students won't see it because it's not published at the root. So always remember, you got to publish it at the root piece in order for everyone to access it. You can restrict the publishing later on. So say like when an assignment, you don't want them to view the assignment right away, you still need to make it published. Then you just put the specific available till time frame on it. You click update, it's going to be just like any other file. Go grab the file, hit open, and then it will throw it in. This also supports drag and drop, so you could just open up your files like this and drag and drop it right in, and it's just going to grab the whole thing and drop it right in. I'm not going to do that right now, but you get the idea. The next area I'm going to go into is I'm going to go into people. People is basically the full list of all this, of everyone that's in your course, students as well as teachers. Your view as an instructor is a little bit more than what a student has. You get to see the student's username. You can see their student ID number. You can also see, these are the really nice ones, the last time they accessed the course and how long have they been in the course. So when the student goes, oh, I logged in Saturday and I didn't see your information up there, you go, really? Because it says you logged in Wednesday, not Saturday. So that's how, and also the time they've been in there. I've been in this one for 83 hours. This person's been in there for 5 minutes. This person for 44. So that's a great way of quickly tracking to see what the students are doing and how often they're jumping into your course.
Let's see, I have before the name, last one.
Sorry, what?
I have to the left of the name there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one.
Yep, so there's an, yeah, this icon right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, each user
Yeah.
can set up their own avatar. So when you go into your account
Account.
area, you can upload it. That
Profile.
just means that person uploaded a picture of them for their
Profile.
identification.
Yep.
For their person's.
Only one of them did that.
And it's not necessarily something everybody will do.
Okay.
Some people
Yeah.
are more enthusiastic about getting themselves personalized everywhere.
And we don't require it at all, so it's really up to you if you want to. And same thing with students. Syllabus section. So this is where you're going to upload your syllabus. The area you're going to actually upload your syllabus to is this top area. What you do is you click edit, And once again, we see the very similar thing that we saw earlier. So the HTML piece, you can copy and paste your whole syllabus in here. You could just link the file over by going back to the file section. You can even put in other stuff. Say there's certain parts of your, you can make certain pages. Pages are, Meg, what's the best way to describe what a page is?
So think of a page as, instead of like a separate Word document or PDF, it is simply an internal content page. So it's, you're making a piece of, basically a web page that is a Canvas-based web page. So so for example, with something like the syllabus, there are a couple of schools of thought. One is to just take your whole syllabus and copy it into this area right here. But if you've got a 16-page syllabus, this is going to be one heck of a long page to scroll through. So one way that you could handle this whole thing is to take your syllabus and break it into logical sections and take each of those sections and put it into a page. And this is something that I'll demo in the Beyond the Basics training. So if that intrigues you, that idea, and you'd like to see more, I'm going to do that in detail in that session. So I'll walk you through, because I have a course that's set up in that exact manner. So at this level, on the main syllabus page, what you would be doing is simply linking to the individual pages. And then, of course, have some kind of, like, summary statement, just kind of like any good document that you might, build. You'd have a nice summary of your syllabus, what's its purpose and why it's there, and then link to your individual content pages, and then any other useful resources that you need to link to. Say you're using a OER, so an open education resource, that would be a good place to link to the required materials, all that good stuff.
Yep. Or like a use of terms and agreement page and stuff like that.
And, right, exactly. So you want to keep the syllabus page sane enough that your students will actually read the pieces of it. And again, you just want to make as little work for yourself as well. So, for example, when you're updating your syllabus, you could just simply update individual pages. There are sections of your syllabus that just stay pretty much static. You don't have date changes or anything like that to make. Those pages can just stay as is, and then you just edit the pages that do have content that changes, such as dates of withdrawal and so forth.
Yep.
So it just makes it a little bit easier document management strategy. Also, if you should have your syllabus in one big document, Word or PDF, so it's an easy thing to just like Lee has done here, just link to that, have that syllabus document uploaded in the files area, and then you can just also link to that full document for the students that want to print it out easily.
Yep. And you can just click on it and download it. The course summary part is going to be filled in automatically. This gets filled in with anything that you create throughout the course. So homework assignments, roll call attendances, any kind of schedules you have on your calendar, tests, all that stuff will start filling out the course summary as you build them. And then students can see this piece so they can see what's upcoming in the course. This side area right here with weighted totals, this will automatically show up only if you have weighted totals turned on. I do have weighted totals turned on, and I will go into what weighted totals are and how to do that when we get into the assignment section. If you don't have weighted totals turned on, this will be blank, okay? I'm going to go jump into the pages area just because we did a little bit of extra talking about pages. This is how you can set up your pages. You go right to the pages section. You're going to add a page. And then once again, you see the very similar as we see before. And this is how you're going to start building your page. And you can build it just like Meg was saying, just like a web page. So if you want, if say there was YouTube content, you can embed YouTube right here. You can insert media. So if you know a YouTube source, you can copy and embed it right here. And then that'll show up right inside the middle of your page. If you have any other kind of HTML knowledge you want, you can throw that in there. You can just put Word documents in there and create them like that. And then they're all going to be created inside of Canvas in the Pages section.
One additional notice about pages too is that you can have one of your pages designated as your home page.
Yep.
Right? So we talked about home pages earlier. The default is to have the modules page be your home page. If you prefer to have your own nice customized home page with images and
A
link
welcome
to
and
different
everything.
things, nice welcome, directing students to go to the syllabus first and then this next and blah, blah, blah. You can designate one page as what it terms as a front page, and that can be chosen as your home page if you wish. So there's a special setting for that, but just kind of think about that as an option. Many instructors have come to me, asking, is there a way I can make a custom home page? And this is exactly where you do that.
Yep. And then we hit save, and then it will create the page. And that's pretty much what the page will look like. To view all the pages, this is actually looking inside the page. To view all the pages, you click View Pages, and then here's a list of all of them.
So Lee, can you show them so that 3-dot vertical for that page, new page, show them just that real quick.
This?
Right. So if you don't currently have a home page, again, right now it's grayed out because Lee has this set up in a certain way. But if you just created a page, this use as you can use as front page. So that's what activates that option. When you go back to home, you can see that now by having an actual page designated as front page,
yep,
it will make that your home page if you wish.
And you have to make sure the page is published in order to actually turn it into a front page. That's why I couldn't turn this one in.
Yeah.
But I turned this one into a front page. So now if I went back to home, as Meg was saying, now when I go to choose home page, I can now actually choose pages as one of them because it's going to go right to that one. Save it, and then that becomes my new home page. Just like that. Okay? Any questions so far? All right. So an important thing is whenever you see these 3 vertical dots, that's always going to indicate more options. That's basically your submenu for more options with any particular item you're dealing with. You're going to see that all the way through Canvas very often. Next section I'm going to go into is discussions. In discussions, so this functions just like Blackboard's discussions did. So you can create your initial forums, which are here. And then when you go into them, that's when the students can, everybody can reply to them. So we create a discussion by going add discussion. Once again, very similar. We see this all the time. To view your discussion, put in your information. And then here's more options down here. So available from, available to, if you want to apply that. You can apply grades to your discussion. Keep in mind, if you want to have discussions for specific groups, you do need to turn grades on for that.
It only allows you to do group discussions if they are considered graded. And you don't have to factor them. There's a way to avoid when Lee gets into the assignment discussion.
Yeah.
Even though it says it's a graded discussion, you don't have to actually have it factor into their final grade.
Correct.
You could just make it a completed, incompleted kind of thing, and then tell it not to include it in the final grade.
One important thing I'm going to show you, and this is, so here's your finished discussion. I'm going to go back to the main discussion menu. And in the upper right, you see this little gear icon. This is going to give you submenu of options for the entire discussion section. What's important is this piece right here. By default, this was turned off for all courses this semester. So if you want a student to be able to upload any attached file to the discussion board, you're going to want to come in here and check that so they can. What this basically adds is allows them to actually see and attach a file to a discussion board. This came up quite often in the summer courses when students were supposed to submit an assignment to a discussion, but that wasn't turned on.
And it's the instructor that has to turn on. The students have no control over that
Yep.
at all.
And we will have that corrected for the spring semester, so it'll automatically be turned on. So now I'm going to go into the assignment section. So the assignment section, this is where we create assignments. This is also where you're going to manage your weighted totals. So how the assignments work is you basically create assignment groups. So even though it's called assignments, you can pretty much put anything in here, tests, quizzes, all of that is all depending on the group. So I have a test group right here. I have an assignments group right here. You can create a new group by going here. We can call this final exam. And I have weighted totals turned on, so that's how I can actually adjust this. So let's say we'll call this, I think, 25%. And then you notice now it's created a new group with 25% listed. To turn weighted totals on, you're going to click on this option here, and then that gives you the ability to turn your weighted totals on. Actually, I should turn that to 30, and that equals 100.
And when you first go in, that top checkbox is going to be unchecked. So
Correct. It'll look like that.
It'll look like that initially. So you have to make sure you check that checkbox, and then it will see what. So again, just like pre-planning your file uploads,
Yep.
to link those in quickly, think about your groups ahead of time. What groups, like on your syllabus, quizzes are this much, projects are this much, whatever. Think of that ahead of time. Create those groups, and then this page becomes much easier to get those weightings in place.
Yep.
Sorry,
Yes.
how did you get to the first weight, the little box here?
Sure. It's the assignments. I went into the assignment section. I then, the 3 vertical dots right here. You're going to click on those, and then you're going to see assignment group weights. Click on that, and you're going to get this box right here. Then we check off weight final grade, and then that's when it's going to show you all of your all your groups, and then what percentage you want to attach to the groups. Attach the percentage, here's the total, and then we hit save. So in Blackboard, you could make an individual grade column in the grade book. You cannot do that in Canvas. You have to create an assignment in order to create a grade column. However, you don't have to necessarily have every assignment have a document submitted to it. You can create an assignment in this that you can list as called on paper, which means I just want this to create a grade column in Canvas, so I can manually put the grade in whenever I want, because I'm going to handle the assignment in class. Okay? I'm going to go into that right now by making an individual assignment. So to make an individual assignment, if you don't want to have groups, you can just have the one group, and then you click the main assignment. But to create an assignment in the individual groups, you're going to click the plus symbol. Okay? That's going to bring you here. I would always go more options, because more options is going to give you all the nuts and bolts and the details you can for an assignment.
Guess what you say?
And very similar. So we're going to call this week 2 assignment. La 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 la. I want you to look at this document while you're doing that. And then here are the options. So how many points? You have to associate some points to it. So I'm going to say this is worth 100. Assignment group. This is where you can adjust the groups if you want. So you don't have to leave it in the one I initially chose, but I'm going to for now. Display grade. Do you want it percentage, complete, incomplete, points, letter, GPA, or not graded at all? So you can create an assignment that has absolutely no grade to it. You just want to, yes.
But Lee, if you don't want, so I was just talking to Nate about this stat here, and I thought I'd ask you about it.
Sure.
In the general discussion. So, if you don't want to build your assignments online,
Yep.
what you can do is you need to use this tool to build your grade book.
Correct.
So you can just put in the names of the assignments and assign a weighted total to them, but that'll build it into your grade book.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what you're going to do is, this is where that is going to assist you right here. Your submission type. You have multiple different types. You have online, you have external tool, or you have on paper. So what an online type is, it gives you the ability to choose if you want them to be able to upload something. So this is where now I'm making an assignment where they can upload a Word document, a PDF, or anything like that. If you wanted to handle it only in class and you want just a grading ability on Canvas, you switch this to on paper. This deactivates the submission capability for students, still has the assignment bracket, all the instructions, but you're going to handle it in class. So then you just go to the grade center, type in the grade. I know they got this for a grade, and we're good. This is a great way of how to make a grade column in Canvas for a test that you're giving in class. This is a perfect way of doing it. And then you put that in the test group, and then set it up as the weighted total you want, and then now your grade center is exactly that way. Yes?
Is there a way to upload information from a desktop to this page?
Absolutely. You can either upload them directly to your file section, and then that means you can just throw them across, or there was...
Well, so.
No, yeah, you have to do it the file section.
So let me ask you this question. When you say upload to this area, do you want what's in that document on your desktop to be in here? The only way you can do that is to just do, would it be something like a Word document probably?
Yeah.
You would just simply copy and paste from the Word document into here. There is actually a pretty nice translation from Word into here.
Yeah.
Some things you might see extra spaces in place, so you may have to do a little bit of tweaking in here. But there's no feature that says, okay, take this Word document and, auto-populate this editor. That doesn't count. So you can link, a copy and paste usually works pretty well in Word. If you haven't gone too crazy with your formatting in Word, if it's really just basic styles and basic formatting in Word, it works pretty well. You can just do a simple copy paste, and that's the way to go.
Thank you. I misunderstood that one.
And Google Docs is the same thing. Yeah, Google Docs actually, I think in some cases works even better.
Is this where the student submits the paper?
No, I will go into that when I go into student view.
Okay.
This is where you as an instructor are creating the assignment. So say you want to do it online and you want them to submit whether an item, a file, a document, an image. This is where you choose what you want them to upload. Say it's a straight file upload. You can actually restrict what types of files they upload.
Which I highly recommend, by the way.
Say you look, I only want to deal with Word documents because we know everybody has Word. I don't want PDFs. I don't want Pages. I don't want Google Docs. You could just go in here and just go, what is it, DocX?
Yeah.
As long as you put the extension, there you go. That means this assignment will only accept a Word document. If they try to upload something else, it'll give them a warning. Hey, this is not the proper file type. Please upload something that is a $docx.
Right, and I would say do both DocX and Doc. I mean, and if you can have,
Yep.
because there are some editors that are technically Word centric, but
Yep.
they may automatically do a Doc.
What about Excel though?
Excel, you would just type XLS. So it would be XLSX and then XLS.
Right, so you do a comma-separated list of file types that you can manage, all right? And this really does save a lot of things on your part.
Yeah, it does.
I can't tell you the number of times that I've had somebody use OpenOffice.
Or Pages,
format.
or Google Docs.
What if I wanted on paper and online? Is there a way
Well-
to do that? Is one or the other?
Yeah,
Ooh.
no, what I would do is make two separate assignments.
Yeah.
Make the on paper a separate assignment from this one. If you want to give them the option to do that, like if you want to give them the option of doing that instead of this, you would just simply communicate that in the assignment description. And you can manually update the grade if you want to. But what this does, if you're requiring a file upload, that's just going to make the grade book populate differently, and you can use the speed grader in a certain way, and you can actually
But this is the only way to get to have the paper go through, turn it in.
Right,
Correct.
yes.
So
Yeah, there's no way to get, unless you have OCR software and want to scan paper and then feed it to turn it in, I don't think you're going to want that.
And actually, speaking of turn it in, that's exactly the next section I'm going into. Plagiarism review.
Well timed.
Built into the assignments, you have the ability to activate turn it in from here. What this now does is this means whatever this assignment, anybody who uploads anything to it, it's going to get cross-checked with the turn it in database. These are your options. You can have it compare submissions against the student repository. the website content, the periodicals and journals. Similarity report. Do you want to exclude any of these? You can save these settings as default. And then when do you want the originality report to go to students? You don't have to. You can have just the originality report go to you, or you can allow it to go to students immediately after the assignment is graded or after the due date, or never. That's completely up to you. And what that does is when in the grading process, I actually have one I think that still has an attachment to it. I'll show you what the originality report looks like for that. Do you want this as a group assignment? Yes or no, and you can attach the group. Do you want other students to peer review this? Yes or no. You can do that from here. And then assign to. By default, everything goes to everybody, but you can pick and choose specifically. You can say, look, I just want this one assignment for this one student. This is a great way of how, if you have a student that needs extra help and needs a little bit extra time for, say, a test or a certain thing, this is how you can make one specifically for that student, and only that student will see it, no one else in the course will. Like I said, by default, it's set to everyone. So, and then due date, students can still submit the assignment after the due date. What this does is this gives you a notification if the student submitted it late or if it was on time. And then available from, available to means that that's going to, you still have to have the assignment published, but it won't turn on for student view until this date and then turn off at this date.
So
You still can see it, the students can't.
Right, so if you do want to control the ability to submit past the due date or do additional submissions, that would be the way to do it, is to set those availability dates. After that,
There you go.
until date, then they won't be able to get to that assignment until this time.
And I can either save or save and publish. If I save, it's not going to publish it.
Right, again, you always have those little publish buttons to show you
Yep.
the state.
There's publish up there and then also publish here. Okay? And then now if I go to my grade center, we're going to see those assignments are now here and listed. This area is going to be grayed out. What these are grayed out for is because these are indicating the grade columns, or the assignment groups, the weighted groups we created. So the tests are 50%, final exam, assignments. These are the groups. And then these are the individual assignments. And as we start filling these in, this will automatically fill in with a proper percentage grade. Okay? It'll just do it automatically.
Is there an overall weighted average?
Yep, that would be the total. Total's the overall average of everything weighted. Important thing, notice we lost our side menu. In order to get that back, you just hit these three vertical lines right here, and then that brings it back right here, brings your side menu back. Any questions?
Yeah, the reason why they do that is the grade book, as you might guess, is pretty wide horizontally, so it tries to give you a nice view as best as it can. But if you really need that nav bar for whatever reason, that hamburger menu.
To grade an assignment, you can either come here, and you should be able to click on it, I thought.
Yeah, you have to use that little, which I don't like going.
I don't like that one.
It's a kind of a pain to do. I mean, it's certainly useful to do. Like, for
Speed
example, if you, right, so you go, like, if you see a gradebook cell that just has the little hyphen in there, you can click on those. If there's a file attachment, you know, that's a different story, but you can click right in there and type a grade manually no matter what.
Correct.
But the speed grader is where you can kind of see all the good details.
And this is how you, any assignment that you said was on paper that you're doing in class, but you just want a grade column spot, that's where you would come in, you just type the assignment in. So, yep, they got a 10 out of that one. This person got a 90 on that one. You can just start typing in your grades, and as you see, it all starts filling in. With an assignment that needs to be graded that you've uploaded something, that's when you come in here. You can see that little dot right there. You're going to go to Speed Grader. What Speed Grader does is now, oh, this is a roll. Oh, this is an attendance roll. My bad. It was supposed to be a document. But this is your speed grader, so any assignment you have will upload the item right here. If it was a Word document that they uploaded, it would actually display the full Word document in this list. And I could do all kinds of editing up there. I can highlight items. I could cross things out. I can add in comments. You can also add in a comment here, put your grade up there. And then you can shuffle between your different students here, as well as jumping back and forth here.
One thing very, very important on this page, you could go through and write this really like spot on comment, really did, you know, a beautiful job, and then you hit that arrow to move on, and you go back and it's like, where's my comment? This button, super important, all right? Make sure you hit this button.
Yep.
Very important button.
Give your grade, and then hit submit. And then you can jump to the next student at that point. Yes?
Good question. As you're entering grades, is there a way to make a column invisible to the students while you're putting your grades in?
Yes, there is.
Because we put in like 48 grades.
Yes, and in fact, in the last session, somebody from nursing asked that question, yes. If you look in this little drop down, again, it's important to watch for this little circle with the arrow. There is a mute assignment option. So you can mute the assignment. Students won't get any notifications, they won't see it, they won't have any idea that you've done any grading in there. And then when you unmute it, that's when
They'll all of a sudden see. Yep.
Good, thank you.
Now, let me go jump into, I'm going to go show you now what a student view looks like. Everybody has the capability of doing this inside your Canvas course. You can access this from either the home page or the settings area. You'll notice this one right here called Student View. When you click on this, you're going to notice a purple barrier form around your course. You're literally inside this course as a test student. And I don't mean it's not like the Blackboard one, which was kind of a test student. You are officially an actual student. It created a brand new column in your grade center called Test Student. You can literally take your own exams, take your own assignments, and do it all and check to make sure everything's here. So I can go right in. Oh, there's my assignment. I want to upload something to it. Okay, there it is. I want to browse, grab my item. Oh, hey, there's my students will get this. If you have turn it in, turn it on, they have to check I agree that turn it in is being used and then submit the assignment. And then and you can even see the grades as a student. This is exactly how students will see the grades as they come in. If the student had an originality report, it would be right here for turn it in. If you didn't have this weighted totals, this wouldn't be here. This is exactly how this is how you can view to make sure everything is turned on the way you want it in your course.
Right. And this little feature right here is really helpful because, again, oftentimes if you have your grade book set up to if you've got all your assignments pre-populated into the grade book, and obviously about a quarter of the way in, there's a whole bunch of assignments that haven't been graded yet. So the graded total might not reflect actual performance. So students can control this, as opposed to, you know, them tracking you down and saying, hey, what's my actual grade, or, you know, what is it? So it's now up to the student to make those observations about their grade.
And they have the ability to even print their grades. And then to turn off student view, we just click leave student view. And now we've left student view. And then you notice all of the options that were grayed out come back.
Yeah, so grayed out does not mean it's not available to you. Those are actual live links that you can get to.
Correct. It just means it's not available to the student.
Right, so showing what the students won't have access.
Next section I'm going to go into is modules. So the best way I describe modules is like the table of contents for your course. If you ever dealt with PDF where you go to table contents, click on chapter 5, and then it jumps you right to that section of the PDF, that's what the modules is like. So you can start building all your modules. So say week 1, I want there's my syllabus. You can even attach pages onto this, anything you want from the course. So what you do is to create a new module, you just click plus module, you give it a name. So we're going to call this week 2. I can lock this until a specific date, or I can leave it unlocked. I can even add prerequisites to it. Keep in mind, you have to have at least one module built in order to get these add prerequisites options. What the prerequisites is you can basically select you have to complete week 1 module before you can move on to the next one. We're going to add the module. There's my week 2. It's not published, so I want to publish it. Add an item, you just click the plus symbol, and now you can go anywhere inside your course and add any piece from your course into this module. So say week 2, I want them to deal with that discussion. I also want them to, I know that assignment I wanted them to go tackle. There's my week 2 assignment. I'm going to throw that in my list. And then say there's a page that I want them to take a look at, test page. And now you start filling out your module like this. So now the students know in week 2 they have to do all of these. And then now that you have items in it, you can go back and edit. Now you can add requirements to it. Where the requirements are is this is where you can say, in order for you to get to the second item on that module list, on that week 2, you must complete week 1. And it will literally make it so they can't even access the next item until they've accomplished it. So you go, look, I want you to finish this assignment before you move to the next. That's what this will do. So students must complete all these requirements. They must go through them sequentially, means step 1, step 2, step 3. Students must complete one of these requirements. Say, you know what, I really only want them to be able to, just as long as they took the week 2 assignment, I'm cool, they can move on. And then that's how you can add those criteria to it.
Also notice on the left, you see that other kind of dot bar right here on the left?
This?
Yeah, right here. So let's say you added something in the wrong module. It's a simple drag and drop to rearrange. Or if you are going to use that sequencing option, you can just easily reorder things between that.
And then it gives you an indication that this has prerequisites attached to it. Keep in mind, this is, again, an area where you have to make sure the module is published as well as the individual items. Otherwise, they won't see it in the module list. They could still go to this section and find the item, but it won't list it on the module. Okay? Publishing is pretty much the important thing you got to do throughout your entire course. Next area I'm going to go into is I'm going to go into the settings. So inside the settings, if you go to navigation, this is where we can adjust the menu list. You can't delete anything, but we can hide things. So say for conferences, you know what, we're not going to use that. We're going to disable that. That basically puts it down here, and that means it won't be visible for students to access. Say the module section, I wanted to move up a little bit higher. You can just drag and drop it where you want. The grades I want to put up there. People I want to put down here. I want to get rid of collaborations. I want to get rid of smart thinking and do that. Important, hit save. Save, because if you don't, you have to do it all over again. Trust me, I have done that. And that is annoying because then you go, what? Oh. And now I got to go redo it. And then everything adjusts automatically. Now, as Meg mentioned earlier, even though we turned these off, students can't access these. You still can get into these. These are always available, okay? It's just making it so the students can't see them. Certain things, certain add-ons are built in. Anything from McGraw-Hill is built in. Cengage, MyMathLab, anything, Pearson is built into this. These are all add-ons that if you made them available up here, you could literally link right to Pearson or right to McGraw-Hill from there if you're using those. I know we're running out of time. There's 2 more things I absolutely want to get to. One is course copy. To course copy, you can do it, it just works kind of opposite from Blackboard. You go into the new course, the course you want to copy into, okay? You then go into settings, you go to import course content. We then drop down and go copy a Canvas course. Now we choose the course we want to grab from and put into this one. So then we look around, say I want that course. It's giving me a warning because it's the same course. And then you click, you can either specify the content or you can just do all content. You can adjust the events and due dates if you want. So beginning date, end date, you can adjust them before you actually do the copy if you wanted to, or you could remove all dates altogether. And then you hit import. And then it will drop down here. You'll get a queued status. Once it's finished the queued status, you'll see a run bar. That can be anywhere from like a couple of minutes to, honestly, I've seen it take 30 minutes if you have got a lot of material in the course.
Especially if you've got a lot of video content.
Yes.
Or big files like that.
Well, once it's finished, it'll then give you a complete. At that point, you go back, refresh your page by going to the home page or anywhere else, and then everything will be inside your course. And that's how you do a course copy. One more other important area I wanted to show you is a lot of people were upset because you couldn't make the announcements page your home page. You can make announcements available on your home page.
Whatever that home page might be.
Right.
No matter what.
What you do is you go to settings. You're going to go all the way to the bottom of your settings right here where you see more options.
Notice how tiny it is.
I know, right? It took me forever to figure that one out.
Yeah.
But in the more options, now we have this one, show recent announcements on course homepage. Click on that. How many announcements do I want? I can go all the way up to 15. You know what? Let's do all 15. So I'm going to send all 15 on that, and now I'm going to update my course. So now, when I go to my homepage, I should now have my homepage as well as all my announcements, and there they are up top at the top of my homepage, and then there's the rest of my homepage down below. So that's how you can make it so they can at least see your announcements when you first come into the course. Any questions or concerns or anything so far? I know that's a lot of information to intake.
All right, so if there was anything that you know, kind of just was a flyby for you, next session is starting right up, and it's Beyond the Basics. So even folks who have been just here for the first time, you're welcome to stay for the Beyond the Basics. I kind of customize it to specific questions that folks have. So if there was something that we showed that you'd like to see again and maybe get fleshed